words of Kevin McAllister preparing to fend off Harry and Marv in Home Alone, "This is it. Don't get scared now." Hyundai announced in 2015 that Genesis would become a standalone luxury brand, and 2017 is the year that Genesis takes the plunge. Will it flop like Filipino divers failing to qualify for the Rio Olympics, or will it slip gracefully into the luxury mainstream? The G90's interior trappings are, if not first-rate, then something that would round to first-rate, perhaps 1.47 th rate. There are only two interior options, black or beige leather. In fact, there are no typical options at all on any G90. You pick an engine, rear or all-wheel drive, your interior color, and one of 6 exterior color options. Aside from V8 models featuring LED headlamps and the Cushia, power-adjustable ventilated rear seats, that's that. 4 of those colors are grayscale, plus a brown and a blue that, if you haven't eaten enough carrots lately or the light is low, could pass for grayscale. But with either interior color, you get rich wood and metallic accents, soft leather, handsome knurled knobs, and gentle LED ambient lighting. Lingering whiffs of cheapness, a few buttons shared with lesser Hyundais, only slightly diminish the luxury atmosphere. The rack and infotainment controls are laid out in a pair of attractive rails on the center stack, with most functions controlled through a large knob on the console. Among a population of infotainment systems that is becoming increasingly convoluted and illogical, the G90's menu structure is straightforward and relatively navigable. Some of the system's graphics are a little cartoonish, but we'll grant a temporary pass for now. It's only been a few years since Hyundai shrugged off the for a Korean car qualifier. And if the point of the G90 is to spoof the German luxury mainstays, it has done well. The G90's ride tends toward the pillowy end of the spectrum without wallowing down the road, although it lacks the sense of control familiar to drivers of Germany's best such barges. The steering is well matched to the chassis with satisfying heft, but it offers sterile isolation from the road. A 172-foot stop from 70 miles per hour is below average for the class, but 0.85 grams of grip on the skid pad is adequate and competitive with large sedans from established luxury marques. As is the straight-line performance. With the G90, Genesis debuts Hyundai's new 3.3-litre twin-turbo V6, an evolution of the 3.3 and 3.8-litre Lambda engines that the brand has employed with several variations since the 2006 model year. In the context of the outputs made by other similarly sized turbocharged engines, say, the 450 horsepower and 510 lb-ft of torque from Ford's 3.5-litre and the F-150 Raptor, or the 400 horsepower and 350 lb-ft from 3.0 litres in the Infiniti Q50 Redasport 400, this one's 365 horsepower and 376 lb-ft might appear to be unambitious, but the understressed 3.3 doles out its power smoothly. Hyundai's 8-speed automatic swapping ratios in kind. Thanks to the additional traction of all-wheel drive, this 6-cylinder managed to tie a rear-drive G90 V8 to 60 miles per hour, with both hitting the mark in 5.3 seconds. Although the V8 gains a couple of tenths on the 6 through the quarter mile, clearing the lights in 13.8 seconds at 105 miles per hour compared with the V6 car's 14 flat at an even 100, we expect few G90 purchase decisions will hinge on drag strip ETs. Fuel economy will likely be a higher consideration. On that front we recorded 18 miles per gallon with the V6 and 17 for the V8. Those numbers likely suffered, though, as our testing of the G90S coincided with our annual 10 Best Cars festivities, in which our feet are even more leaden than usual. In our last tests of a Hyundai Equus, the G90's predecessor, we saw 21 miles per gallon on a trip that involved far more highway driving. Compared with the Equus, the G90 is a remarkable step up, a commendable improvement generation over generation. And while there aren't any options, That's not to say the car lacks substance. Most anything a luxury buyer could want is simply included as standard, from adaptive dampers and soft closed doors to a 22-way power adjustable driver's seat, heated outboard seats all around ventilated in the front, and reclining rear seats. But it still lacks the down-to-the-last detail refinement of established luxury flagships, while the G90's base price leaps about 10 grand higher than the first Equus's. A base Lexus LS is only $4,445 distant. If the G90 is going to continue to creep closer to pricing parity, then Genesis will need to get on par with final polishing as well.